It's a popular dessert in French cafés, bistros, brasseries and at home. It's la crème caramel. It's silky smooth and light and so easy to make. What's more, it can be made a day or two in advance. Is it the same as flan? How do you serve it? Let me show you with this easy recipe with some tips along the way. Bonjour, I'm Jill, French Scot in Paris since 1992. After 30 years of French family training and a joie de vivre, welcome to my channel where I dish up easy family recipes with a Scottish accent. Known in the rest of the world as flan, the French don't use sweetened or condensed milk. So why don't they just call it a flan? Well, they also call it a flan aux œufs au caramel, but then a flan aux œufs is normally without the caramel. And above all, that's not to be confused with the plain flan. Flan is bought at our bakery by the slice and it's an eggy custard with a pastry base. The crème caramel is much lighter, almost gelatine-like without the gelatine. Served chilled as it is, no cream is needed. Like in many restaurants, serve them directly in the ramekins. Or upturn them on a plate. Hopla! To see their shiny caramel. Are you ready? Have you subscribed? Let's get cracking. There are only 4 ingredients, but please use fresh milk and organic free-range eggs. We're using full-fat milk, not cream. I'm making individual portions with ramekins, but to make a large version, use a cake or loaf tin or a pie dish. First, make the caramel. Sprinkle the sugar in the water and just shake the pan to half dissolve them together. Let them say bonjour. Next, put them on a medium-high heat without stirring. These 2 points are important, otherwise it could turn white and solidify. Anyway, this all takes about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we can start infusing the milk with vanilla for the custard. Use a sticky vanilla pod as its taste makes all the difference. If yours is dry, leave them in a jar to swell up with a little dark rum. It's magique. If you don't have a powdered bean, use powdered vanilla or good quality extract. Please avoid essence or aromas. The taste is really synthetic. It gives you a right drouth afterwards. Anyway, taste the difference and you'll see. Add the scrape seeds to the milk. I add the whole pod too to get all of its flavour. Heat the milk to simmering point, then take off the heat to infuse quietly. When the caramel turns light golden brown, that's when it smells like caramel. So prepare a large baking dish for the bain-marie. A wee trick is to line the dish with baking paper. This stops the water from boiling to the top and ensures even cooking. I wish you could smell this. The bubbles get bigger and slower, so it's going to turn that lovely amber colour quickly. I'm just checking on that milk. It's off the heat, but smells lovely. It sets fast, so act quickly when pouring and be careful not to touch the caramel. It's extremely hot. Sugar the caramel around to coat the ramekin bottoms. Break 2 eggs and 3 yolks separately into a wee bowl to avoid shell getting into the big bowl. The egg whites freeze well or keep them in the fridge covered in a jar for about 5 days. You could make tuile with them, for example. I'll put the link below for you. Otherwise, you can make macaron with them from my books. Beat the eggs and sugar well together for about a minute until they become really quite pale. And then you're going to take the milk. Now the milk, it's already off the heat, so this is warm. It's not piping hot, it's not boiling. You can see that I'm even touching the milk, it's not hot. Pour in the milk into the eggs. Now, if it is hot, your milk, you would pour it very slowly to temper the eggs, not to give the eggs a shock and scramble them. But in this case, it's okay. There's no need to over whisk at this point, as it does create a lot of foam. Not that I have a problem with foam, but anyway, if you leave it on the counter for a couple of minutes, the foam will subside. And incidentally, I don't sieve, I just pour them directly into the ramekins. This is when the milk has settled on the counter for a couple of minutes, and look how very little foam there is. Just pour it directly into the ramekins.
A little foam is really no big deal, but I'll take off that first one for the perfectionists out there. Troubleshooting notes are on my website.
Transfer to the oven and carefully pour in hot to boiling water to about half to 2/3 of the way up. And 40 minutes later, they've set if a knife comes out clean. After 10 minutes, transfer the creams to cool, then chill in the fridge for at least 2 hours or ideally overnight. And then enjoy them well chilled as they are, or take a sharp knife all around the sides to loosen them and upturn. Just wobble the dish. Be patient. Wobble the dish, not the plate, Jill. But if yours are stubborn, dip them for 30 seconds in boiling water and you'll get more caramel from the bottom. Et voilà!